This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and this amazingly skinny, light laptop, what could it be but an LG Gram, right? This is the LG Gram Pro 16-inch 2-in-1. So it's not just a laptop, it is a convertible with a beautiful OLED display and a pen included too. That attaches, well, magnetically to the side, and it's actually a decent size. We're going to look at it now. So it's good to finally see OLED here, a Samsung-made OLED display, LG's big competitor in South Korea, so there's a little irony there, but that is what it is. It is a 16-inch, almost 3K display, 2880 by 1800 resolution, obviously supports touch as well as the pen, 360-degree convertible, you get the idea. Now their specs page say it's variable refresh 144 Hertz, but it's actually 120 Hertz looking at the device itself, but still, that's fine. I think most people are pretty happy with that. This is not a gaming laptop, this is a super thin and light multimedia and drawing, sketching, photo editing kind of laptop. Anyway, LG does make some Grams that do have dedicated graphics, like NVIDIA RTX 3050 level graphics, but not this one. This has Intel Arc graphics. And this one has a Core Ultra 7 processor, 155H, so it's the H28 watt processor, which should be more performant, but we'll talk about how performance actually goes. The base model has a Core Ultra 5 processor and an IPS display instead. That's WQHD resolution. So the base starts at $1,400. Ours is the maxed out configuration. It's $2,100. You get the OLED display, you get 32 gigs of RAM, 2 terabytes of storage for your money there, and of course the Core Ultra 7 processor on board, and there's a couple of different variations in between. So if you want the OLED but you don't need as much RAM or as much storage, you can upgrade the storage yourself. In fact, we'll take a look at the internals later. You have options for that. As ever with the Gram, this is 3.08 pounds, which is 1.4 kilograms. They say it is currently the lightest 16-inch convertible on the market. No doubt, it's probably true. They have competitors, the HP Spectre X360 16-inch, for example, which is more powerful but is also heavier. And of course, there's the Samsung Galaxy Book 4 line that competes with this as well. But still, magnesium alloy, and given the fact that it is magnesium alloy, which is a more flexible material than some others that are used in laptops, it feels sturdy enough. You know, it feels very light. Like when we take off the bottom cover, you'll see that by itself. If you take it off, will flex, but it's not flimsy feeling or anything like that, but it sure does feel absurdly light, which is nice for something that you might want to use as a large tablet, isn't it? Despite its uber thinness, it has actual useful legacy ports. There's 2 USB-C 4/Thunderbolt 4 ports on the left side, 2 USB-A ports on the right side, and an HDMI port and, well, a headphone jack. No micro SD card slot, those. Oh well, can't have everything. The keyboard on this, it's typical for the Gram. It's very low travel because it's such a thin device. It's fairly tactile, but boy, is it low travel. So, you know, if you're down with that kind of thing, great. If you like keys that actually have some significant movement, like 1.4 millimeter or something, then this probably wouldn't be the laptop for you. Trackpad works fine, the usual Microsoft Precision, and it's big, but it is mechanical, not in today's haptic trackpad, which a lot of people prefer. So this one actually mechanically does move. It still works okay. I'm not complaining. Comes in only one color, this kind of matte black here. It does like fingerprints, but not like a razor blade laptop or something like that. It's not that bad, but The display is literally the centerpiece of this thing. It is gorgeous to look at. As you can see, the colors on this are very vibrant. The color gamut is good. You got full P3 on this, almost full Adobe RGB. They have a couple of different color presets. I didn't find the professional preset to do better with Adobe RGB, which is what I would expect, but there are a variety that aren't bad, and it does come well calibrated out of the box too. So for those of you who care about color accuracy, you've got it there. I'm not seeing the digitizer barn door effect a whole lot in this. I know some people are very picky about that. It's a little hard to completely escape that when you have an OLED display that does have a pen. The pen is Microsoft Pen Protocol, formerly known as Entric. I tried a Surface Pen on it, it worked just fine, so I can tell you that that's definitely Microsoft Pen Protocol there. And I like the fact that the pen is big. Of course, there's no silo because when you get a big pen like that, they never can make a silo to fit it. But for those of you who actually use the pen a lot, I think you're going to prefer that over some kind of toothpick, and then you don't have to go and buy a third-party pen. It's not for art particularly. You can, if you're a hobby artist, you can do that. It's not terrible. Your diagonal lines are not going to be perfectly smooth and la la la. But if you're using it for note taking and all that sort of thing, and just having fun doodling, using it for Microsoft Paint AI feature or something like that, more than good enough for that sort of thing. Now, in terms of performance, the thing with LG grams is because they're so thin and light, and they also want them to not be noisy laptops, they're not top performers among their peers. And the same is still true here. I mean, the benchmarks are not horrible, but they are not leading the pack by any means for laptops that have this same processor, which is the 155H, again, that we have inside of here. So it's fine for everyday multimedia work, business work, all that sort of thing. Photoshop, it's just fine for that kind of thing. I don't mean it's a bad performer. I mean, if you're looking to eke every last watt of performance, then that's typically not where a gram is going to be for you. Speakers on this, pretty good, which is good because it's a multimedia laptop. We got 3-watt speakers, Dolby Atmos software. You have Intel Wi-Fi 6E with Bluetooth 5.3. There is a Windows Hello 1080p camera, and it has a Mirrormetrics glance feature. If you can turn that on or not, it's up to you. And that's the one where if you walk away, it locks the screen, and when you walk up to it, it wakes the screen up, and it uses Windows Hello to log you in. It's fairly seamless, and it's a nice way of keeping your PC secure without constantly having to shut it, lock it, whatever, that sort of thing. So that's good. So what about battery life? It has a 77 watt-hour battery, and it comes with a very compact 65-watt USB-C charger, the kind that you would see with a high-end smartphone. That doesn't sound like a lot, especially for a fairly high-resolution, large OLED display, but battery life on this is pretty good. I got about 9 hours of everyday mixed office kind of use at 200 nits of brightness. So a little Zoom call, a little office, a little bit of Photoshop, a little streaming video, all of that thrown in. So pretty good, actually. To get inside, you have to remove the 4 rubber feet, and boy, do they use some good adhesive. It's reusable, so don't have panic. And then there's a teeny little rubber bumper here that you also have to remove to access the little Phillips head screws. Unscrew those, suction cup or pry. It's not too hard to get the bottom off, and magnesium alloy. So, wow, it flexes. But it doesn't feel flexy as a whole, the laptop, terribly, like I said, so it's not too bad. And internally, look, things you can actually upgrade yourself. Isn't that nice these days? 2 M.2 2280 full-size SD card slots. Obviously, both of ours are populated because we have the 2 terabyte very high-end model, and that's supplied as 2 1 terabyte drives. RAM is, however, soldered on. You can't miss the capacity of the battery right here. That's huge enough, 77 watt-hour, flanked by 2 large stereo speakers. They're 3 watt each. They sound pretty good, which is nice. It's a pleasant multimedia laptop. And here is the CPU heatsink with Intel Arc integrated graphics and 2 cooling fans. You don't really hear much fan noise out of this. Really, LG has gone for cool and quiet over performance with this, which is typically what they do with the grams. Wi-Fi is soldered on. There's the 2 antenna leads there. That's Intel Wi-Fi 6E with Bluetooth 5.3. And there you go. There are your internals. Now, like I said, there is competition here. It holds its own pretty well against the Samsung Galaxy Book 4, not one with the Qualcomm CPU inside. I'm talking about the Intel CPU-based one. And obviously, the Spectre X360 is probably going to pull in the people who are looking for more performance, that sort of thing. But if you're looking for an incredibly light, take it anywhere, convertible Ultrabook with a big screen that actually isn't as burdensomely heavy to use in tablet mode, thanks to this thinness and the lightweight, well, it still would tick those boxes, wouldn't it? Nicely. Very nicely. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more cool tech videos, and thumbs up if you like this vid.